I'm going to start sharing my screen and we will kick off the meeting. And if everybody could please mute yourself if you're not speaking, that way we don't have excessive background noise and feedback. Definitely possible. It happens almost every week. Welcome to Rotary, everyone. Today is August 26th.
Yeah, but you gotta be on there. We're gonna hope we get on there, okay? I'm gonna meet all my friends.
The meeting has started. I want to thank Carl Flowers for being our greeter today. Great job, Carl. And as always, we're going to open our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I will lead us in the pledge today. So please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our moment of reflection today is offered by Gil Kronig. Gil. Sorry, YouTube decided to continue to play sounds after that bell. So, Gil Kronig, the floor is yours for the reflection.
Looks like we may have lost Gil.
Okay, so Gil did send in his reflection. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. I think that's especially relevant today in 2020 with everything we have going on. Now it's time for our Rotary Song Time, and in lieu of Song Time this week, I decided that I would share a video. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks, so this is a couple minutes long, but I think it's very valuable for everybody to hear.
The world has not had much good news to celebrate in global health this year, and the challenges ahead are formidable. That's why we must recognize the great achievement and commend all of the people who played important roles in reaching this milestone. It took tremendous effort over many years.
Rotary and our partners began this mission more than 2 decades ago, when we joined with Nelson Mandela to begin the work of eradicating the wild polio virus in the Africa region. Mandela inspired us all, and his support for this effort energized African nations and leaders across the continent to step up their efforts to reach every child polio vaccine.
And step up, we did. To all our Rotary members, thank you for your continued support and dedication. We know this hasn't been easy, and there is still work to be done before we can fulfill our promise of a polio-free world. But you have helped achieve something remarkable. Rotarians have raised funds for polio eradication, advocated with world governments and local and national leaders, held events and fundraisers for World Polio Day, and raised awareness of polio eradication.
From providing polio pluses such as soap, health kits, along with oral polio vaccines in camps for internally displaced persons in Borno State, to giving polio immunization during family health days across Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, and Uganda, Rotary members have shown resilience, persistence, and steadfast dedication to our top priority of ending polio. But we've not accomplished this alone. Tens of thousands of health workers have dedicated their lives to fighting polio throughout Africa. Thank you for your hard work. We have served as trusted voices in your communities and protected hundreds of millions of children from paralysis.
This is a big step in our journey to a polio-free world. But the fight is not over yet. We still need the support of our Rotary members, donors, and the heroic effort of healthcare workers to finish the job.
There's one celebration to come when we eradicated wild polio from Georgia. We need your energy, tenacity, and commitment to protect children worldwide and rid the world forever of this terrible virus.
Thank you.
So before we really jump into the introduction of guests, if you didn't catch that, as of, I believe, yesterday, they've announced that Africa is polio free. So great job, Rotarians. I know that our club over the past couple years and probably decades has been a major contributor to that fund. Africa is wild polio free. So great job, everybody. That's one of the reasons we're all here. I know we've had a couple more people join in, but Faith, could you please introduce our guests today?
Okay, as I look amongst the crowd of familiar faces, we know that Gordy is a guest, and if you would introduce yourself and state who invited you.
My name is Gordon Welch, or Gordy for most people in Carbondale know me as. I was invited by Mr. Grant, and what started this was I am Harvey's son. And I joined Rotary, I can't remember because it was an online date, back in June, I think it was, with the Cross Timbers Rotary out of Flower Mound. We meet on Friday mornings. And I was thinking the other day, I said, well, I know Dad was a district governor. What club did he come out of? So I Googled Carbondale and I found there were 3 clubs. So I was trying to figure out which club he came actually out of. And I wanted to let you all know that I'm trying to carry on his legacy as best I can. But this son is a Rotarian now. And I meant to wear, I have his pins. So, and I meant to wear his pin today, and I forgot to put it on. But I do have his pins from y'all's club now that I know which one it is. So I'm glad to be here.
Well, welcome to Rotary. Glad to have you. And then I see Julia is back on again with us. Did you just pop in, or or do drop in, as they used to say on the Waltons, or did you invite yourself, or did someone invite you?
I follow your club on Facebook, and they always announce when they're going to have meetings, so that they put the Zoom meeting ID and password through the meeting announcement on Facebook. So I was available today, and I wanted to pop in and see all my good friends in Carbondale. And to Gordy, oh, I can't tell you how much I loved your dad, and to see you just it gives me so much joy to see you there today.
Oh, thank you. That gives me chills. It does. I've got goosebumps right now.
Aw, thank you, Julia, for that. And aside from Liz, our guest, who we will hear from later, I believe that is all of the guests we have today. And welcome to Rotary, everybody.
Thank you, Faith. It's time for some club announcements. First announcement, club duties. The doodle poll has gone out. The links are here as well. We do need folks to step into some of these roles for the next few weeks. So please take a moment to sign up in one of the responsibilities for each week's meeting. So that's our grader, our Pledge of Allegiance, our introduction of guests, 4-way test. Please do so, and we'll help each other out a little bit. The next club announcement is our membership challenge. Shane, would you like to touch on the membership challenge for a moment?
Yeah, as we continue to drive toward membership across North America is at an urgent level. Rotary International is continuing to see members leave, not only because of COVID, but maybe lack of interest in Rotary. So we need to band together. And one of the things the district has done is brought along this membership contest. So the first prize club in the district will win $500, and the one member in our club that brings in the most will win $100 personally. So if you've got somebody sitting on the sidelines, now is the time to invite them to Rotary. Thank you, Rick.
Sounds good. Thank you, Shane. Our Promise for Haiti project. Ella, do you have any updates on the Promise for Haiti project right now?
The only thing that I can say is, I don't know if you can see me because my screen isn't working quite properly, but I'm doing the signal for this close. We are this close to getting our 300 masks in the mail. That will be done within a few days. Thank you so much, everybody who has helped, and we hope to be helping the people in Pinyon, Haiti. And let me say hello to Gordy and Julia while I have the floor. Gordy, I would not be a Rotarian today if it were not for your dad, who made sure that he could break the age barrier in letting someone go on a group study exchange. He did it. I went. I became a Rotarian as soon as I returned home. But you know that I know you from the days of the short pants days. So
Yeah.
hello.
Hey, Miss Lacey, thank you. Yeah, when I saw you pop on, I was waving to you.
Oh, okay. I can't see.
Excellent. Y'all are making me smile today.
All right.
The next announcement for our active service projects, Carbondale Warming Center lunch project. Today's lunch being served to the folks over there at the Warming Center: oven roasted turkey breast, mashed potatoes and gravy, sweet peas, assorted fruit salad, and some bread. So sounds delicious. Thank you to all of our Rotarians who continue to pay lunch fees and support this project. While we've been meeting via Zoom and not paying for lunches, many of you have continued to contribute those funds that you would have paid for lunch to help the folks out at the Carbondale Warming Center. Material support project portion of that. Gail, do you have anything you want to add for the Warming Center today?
No new specific requests from Carmelita, so I think just a continuation of financial support, food donations, clothing donations, and shelving and fans are still welcome.
Okay. Hang on here just a moment. All right. Club announcements, the 100 Little Things. Please check out rotaryofcarbondale.org/centennial. We do have a couple projects that are in focus. And Ginger, do you want to talk about the project you suggested yesterday via email to a few of us?
Sure. Thanks, Rick. I got an email yesterday from Tina Carpenter, who is the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club. And as you guys are aware, the Boys and Girls Club is one of the few organizations that are still open and taking kids. So for classes for school, and they have found that a lot of people who need to go back to work, they're signing up their kids. So it's been a real inspiration and help to our community. They're up to 78 kids, and the regulations say they can go up to 100 kids, but they've had to expand their hours. They now have 10-hour days. And she found out yesterday that we are not going to be able to get any volunteers this year from SIU due to the COVID outbreak, especially in colleges. They don't think that that is a safe place to get volunteers. So Tina and the Boys and Girls Club are kind of desperate for volunteers. So I told Rick I would champion one of our 100 little projects was for us to donate or volunteer 100 hours to the community. So Tina has sent 5 specific areas that if anybody feels like they can do this, just email me your hours and I will keep track of it. So number one is if anybody could pick up the breakfasts and lunches at the high school from 11 to 11:30. They're having problems getting the food back to the Boys and Girls Club. So if anybody could do that from 11 to 11:30 every day. They need daily assistance from 7:45 to 9 o'clock with check-in for the kids. They also need, if anybody can do tech support. They just got a grant and everybody at the Boys and Girls Club now have a new Chromebook. And there's a lot of them that don't understand how to use it just yet. So from 8:15 in the morning till 9:30, you can assist the kids in getting onto their Chromebook. Number 4 is they have such an influx of kids. They need to have some people there to make sure that the kids are getting to their class safely. And then they also need somebody outside to make sure that they are, take their temperature and make sure that they wash their hands before they come in. So most of this is morning things. And of course, if you want to stay throughout the day, then I'm sure they can find something for you to do. So if this is something anybody might be interested, they really are kind of in desperate need of volunteers.
And from the email that you forwarded, it looks like they need an outdoor hand washing station. I know that in Scouts we've made them before. Campouts we have setups that we'll put together for that, but those are on a small scale basis. So I might be able to talk to some folks about putting something like that together. But if anybody has access to one of those or knows someone, we could get an outdoor hand washing station similar to what they have out of porta potties and things like that. Or looking at the Jackson County Department of Health, they have hand washing station guidelines when you do festivals and things like that. That would be great if you could reach out. But I know that's going to be a major need because that's a log jam right now for anybody who needs to wash hands.
Thanks, Rick.
Ginger, do you know, is it just Monday through Friday that they need things picked up and assistance, or is it on Saturdays as well?
Monday through Friday.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ginger. And I think that's an excellent project and an excellent organization that we should continue to support. Jerry, could you please touch base on the Harvey Welch Scholarship project that we have right now, especially since Gordy's on the call with us? Jerry, you're muted.
No, today's an especially. We had set out as contributing to the Harvey Welch Scholarship Fund as one of our original 100 things, and I decided, and I agreed to be the champion for that. I'm just wanting to put it in front of people now in case there's a new stimulus package where they're sending us money and there's some of us who don't really need the money, that this would be a great place to go. So I would like to see if our club could get $100 per member contributed to the Harvey Welch Scholarship Fund. I guess it's the Harvey and Trish Welch Scholarship Fund. So I just want to put that out there in front of people. I encourage people, if you can do 200, do that. So that will make up for those people who aren't able to do $100. So overall, if we could have $100 per member, we've done very well. And this, so that's it.
Great. Thank you, Jerry. So there's I'm going to read Gordy's message that he just posted in the chat. He says, y'all are too funny. It's a pleasure to be here. Goosebumps all over today. I didn't expect to have this feeling. This is definitely a God moment for me. I will let my club know this on Friday and ask for a pennant to send. I'm also touched by the last project in focus. So Gordy, I think we're all touched by your presence here and the impact that Harvey had on the club here in Carbondale. And I never had the opportunity to meet him, but The club here has been a great warm welcome for me since I moved to Southern Illinois, and I think it's been a great community for ourselves, among each other, as well as a great outreach to the Carbondale community at large. So thank you for joining us today, and we'll get you a banner here as well. So moving along through our announcements, our foundation donation challenge is set through May of 2021 right now. So monthly donations to the local foundation are being matched by these individuals through May of 2021. So thank you, Brooke, for matching in August, and Brad is on deck in September. So thank you all for that. Move into some district news today. The innovative club concepts. Shane, would you like to touch base on what we're doing at the district level?
Sure. The innovative club concept team for the zone met last night. There were 8 districts that got together. What we're trying to do is find creative ways to bring people out to join Rotary. One club that's in the picture is the Mississippi Runs Through Us. That cause group has Rotarians starting to form from the Minnesota area all the way toward New Orleans. They have a service project already set for September 26th. So we are trying to coordinate river cleanup along the Jackson County side here in Illinois. So if you're interested in that, please email me and we will find out a way to participate. Another informational meeting has been set for the SIU Alumni Provisional Rotary Club. We have SIU graduates all around the world. Some of them may want to reconnect outside of the normal alumni association and work on causes that are in common with Rotary. Veterans Club is coming soon, and next week we'll share a bunch of other new ideas with you as they start rolling out. So it's the old boxes of Rotary of being a traditional club have been tossed out the window, and Rotary is looking to create organizations for different type of clubs. So if you got any ideas, just let me know. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Shane. All right. There's also a potential traditional club launch in Murfreesboro. We've got a first informational meeting set for September 10th. So check that out on Facebook. I know there's a handful of folks that I've invited to join that. Folks that are not Rotarians who are like-minded individuals who want to give back to the community. So Shane, do you have any updates on where that one stands?
Yeah, let me unmute myself there. Yeah, I've been in contact with 5 or 6 local people also that are, and this club could be traditional. It could end up being an innovative club. It is entirely up to the group that wants to form this club, whether they want to live within traditional boundaries and be a traditional considered club or a non-traditional. And what I mean by non-traditional, when you look at the Rotary Club of Carbondale, we have a greeter, we do the Pledge of Allegiance, we have a reflection, we do the 4-way test. A non-traditional based innovative club may not meet every week. They may not meet every month. They will set their schedule. They will draft their own bylaws. They will decide their own service projects. If the Rotarians that want to form a provisional club in Murfreesboro decide that that's the boundaries that they want to work by, then Rotary will sign off on it. So if you know somebody that would be interested in just doing community service or things like that, that live in the Murfreesboro area, or, it doesn't even really have to be in Murfreesboro anymore with the hybrid style clubs and Zoom. So if you know anyone, send them toward Facebook, and hopefully we'll see them on September 10th.
Thank you, Shane. Rotary International news. We already spoke about this. We watched the video earlier today that eradicating polio. Africa is now polio free. So great job. Thank you all of our Rotarians for continuing to contribute to this fund that we can get these vaccines out there.
Rick, do you mind if I make a real small comment, real brief comment?
Of course, go for it.
Regarding ending polio now, and the fact that we have kicked it out of Africa. You notice I say we. When things are successful, people start grabbing onto ownership. I am guilty. I was a stop team member in 4 different African countries, which means that I worked at least 3 months at a time. Ghana, Sierra Leone, Egypt, and in Ethiopia, the same amount of time, but I was a team leader of 5 women, the only all-women team that was there as a stop team. So we all worked together to kick polio out of Africa, and I am proud and just had to say that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ella, for all the hard work that you did put in gathering us as a group and inspiring people to help. Now it's time for some of your good news. Do we have some good news from our fellow Rotarians? I can't see everybody on the screen at once while I'm broadcasting, so feel free to just speak up and.
Can you hear me? This is Gil Cronin. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, I have good news of sorts. This Sunday, my wife Jean and I will be celebrating our 61st wedding anniversary. So I think we got things worked out and might last.
Awesome.
Congratulations, Jean and Gil.
Yes.
For me, this is Faith. Some of you may have known or not known, but my mother was in the hospital for about 10 days. Various complications. Well, she came home Saturday and she is not out and about, but she's up and moving.
Very nice. Bless.
She will be 83 the 10th of September.
This is Linda. I don't have any good news, but I do have a request. The City of Carbondale and the Carbondale NAACP has a improving police community relations survey out, and it's just a short survey with 10 questions. You can access it on the city's website or a Facebook page, and so my request is that everyone will complete the survey.
I'd just like to say my good news is that you may know, some of you, that I had a cardiac ablation in early June and for pretty bad atrial fibrillation. And I just went back for my follow-up echocardiogram and my heart is good. So not dead yet, as they say in Monty Python. So.
Good news.
Good news. This is Shane. My good news, if you can see the photo, that my daughter turned 20 this weekend. So that's a picture of my wife and my daughter. My daughter turns 20 this weekend. So look out.
Yeah.
All right, last call for any more good news. Seeing none. Sergeant at Arms, with Will being out as we're online, Gail, our online Sergeant at Arms, the floor is yours.
Well, I've noted through the meeting so far and in the chat room that several of you have been doing good things. Sierra has volunteered already to help with the Boys and Girls Club. Ginger to champion the assistance to the club. Cindy sending out cards. So I'm going to issue a 2-week warning, though, that I will be levying fines if you do not fill out your census form as requested by Carl. So 2 weeks from today, we'll be doing a roll call. And if you have not filled out your census, you will be fined.
Thank you, Gail, for that. I'm glad I filled mine out. That way, I'm not going to be fined. All right. Now it's time for our guest speaker today, Liz Jarnigan from Southern Illinois University. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Efficiently unmuted. Well, I appreciate the invitation. Thank you, Linda, for reaching out to me. I do see some familiar faces out there, so it's nice to see all of you. We certainly haven't been seeing a lot of people out in the community very much here lately, given our unique times. So nice to see some friendly, smiling faces, and I recognize quite a few Saluki fans. So I feel comfortable and at home. Yes, yeah, sure. You know, well, first of all, this is what I was going to tell you, is that given COVID and everything that's going on in the world, you know, we've canceled competitions, most of our competitions for the fall. So I really don't have a report, but that's my joke. There's so much that's going on, so much more that we're taking on now, like everybody in the community, as we're trying to adjust and adapt to this COVID world, that you know, I really do actually have a lot to report. You know, I was struck by the quote earlier: "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." And there's a real dichotomy there, similar to what I wanted to open up with to all of you, is that, you know, at Saluki Athletics, one of our main aims is to bring a community together. And what's really sad for us right now is that we have to all stay apart. And so one of our biggest struggles and challenges right now is trying to help our student athletes manage through this difficult time. I'm sure each and every one of you is dealing with additional mental strain and likely financial strain, you know, just confusion over this new normal that we're in, and helping our student athletes who are so wrapped up in their identities as athletes manage through these times that are so uncertain has been our biggest challenge. We are definitely, you know, I've been telling the athletes, to the best of our ability, we'll provide clarity for them, but unfortunately right now, our being clear means we have to tell them there's continued uncertainty. And that's hard for us, because we're planners and strategizers, and we like to have vision and create game plans to achieve our goals. And we're all about the halftime adjustments these days, and less about the long-term game plan vision as we deal with COVID. But I do tell them that every time there's a change in the plan, look at it as a positive. It's an indication that we have new and better information, and perhaps we're getting closer to better testing and a vaccine. And so while right now we're operating in a new normal, we're really working hard to get ourselves back to old normal as soon as we possibly can. And I want our community to know that as well. We are sad not to be able to have football games for you this fall. We actually thought we would be able to at least have one with SEMO, and that went away about 10 days ago. And we're sorry about that, and certainly don't want to own COVID. We certainly do want to commit to all of you, along with our student athletes, that we're doing the best job we can with the information we have to get back to Saluki athletics. A couple of things, you know, you shared your good news. I always like hearing good news. So much in this COVID era has been bad. This disease is bad news. The financial impact on us when we've already been struggling is bad news. But we did get, our athletic department did get a piece of really good news yesterday. Some of you may be aware that we've been under monitoring from the Office of Civil Rights for Title IX violation with participation opportunities. And for the last 2 years, we have properly managed our participation opportunities and fallen into compliance 2 years in a row. And so we were informed yesterday that we are released from the monitoring early. And so we're hanging on to that as a real positive and a demonstration that we're committed to do what's right within our program, in addition to taking care of our kids, helping them earn degrees and winning championships. Couple of things also that I jotted down, you know, some of the additional work that we take on now in the department. Myself personally, I've become more of a budget officer, and I'm hopeful that at some time soon the university might bestow upon me some honorary accounting degree, because that's new for me. And also, I never thought I would have to become so knowledgeable on the medical side of things, but in working closely with our partnership with the Jackson County Health Department, with SIH, who's been a wonderful partner, with our institutional community partners, we have gotten more intelligent when it comes to issues of community health than we knew we would be able to. We're very proud of the plan that we've had in place as we've brought our student athletes back to campus. We started bringing them back in small waves in the summer when the NCAA allowed us to start getting our student athletes back to voluntary workouts. And through that gating process, we're now about 1,300 tests in, where some of our student athletes have been tested multiple times as they've gotten into practice mode. The 1,300 tests and 6 positives. And of those 6, all have been asymptomatic. But as a result of those 6, we've had contact tracing going on and some quarantining going on. And as a result of that, to this point, and we know things can blow up tomorrow, but to this point, no blow-ups within the bubble that we're trying to create to make it a safe training environment for the student athletes. You probably have read all over the country those blow-ups are happening at other places, and so right now we're very proud of the plan and our partners helping us implement the protocol as we work through this. You know, football, I'm sure there are questions about football. We are still planning out for football. We are working on what football in the spring will be like. It'll be unique for all of us, but we're excited to at least provide our football student athletes an opportunity to potentially compete in a national playoff scenario. That's the reason we moved, the conference moved football to the spring, because we lost our opportunity to have the NCAA host a championship in the fall. And so our kids, when we talk with them, that's a huge driving factor for them. They want that opportunity. And that was pretty consistent across the board amongst our conference counterparts. Basketball, people have questions about basketball. You know, we've are so excited about the positive trajectory all of our programs have been on prior to COVID, and we continue to be very optimistic in that regard, specifically with basketball. They were some of the earlier athletes who returned over the summer. They are working hard. They are keeping their heads down. They are wearing their masks, following protocol. They only come off when they're in small group training components. And during that time, coaches still have their masks on. And I can tell you, they are driven, and they are excited to be able to play and compete, and really, really, really want to play and compete in front of a crowd. So we're very, very hopeful that we can make progress in our community and find a vaccine and get to that point. So that's just some of the notes that I have. I'm sure you all probably have questions given all the changes that are going on, and I'd love to give you an opportunity to ask some. Maybe.
We do have one question in the chat already.
Okay.
Faith asked, did I miss the notification of the scrimmage being canceled, and how are you planning to manage the venues regarding seating, crowds, concessions, etc.?
Okay. Yeah. Well, scrimmage. Which scrimmage are you talking about, Faith?
They usually have one against each other.
Yeah.
Every. Just for donors, patrons to select their seats. They usually have one. So
they call it the preseason scrimmage, kind of the season ticket pickup. Yeah, well, since we're there are no tickets right now to pick up because we're having to make those adjustments, and usually it's less of a scrimmage and more of an open practice. The NCAA doesn't even allow us to call it a scrimmage because of the ever-changing climate of what's going on. We're not in a position to be able to even play ourselves full on like that right now. We are limited to groups of 50, and so the offense and the defense have been practicing separate, and while they have been practicing, it's not really anything I think would be exciting for the community to watch right now. And tied into the second part of your question is, our ability to invite the community into our facilities is very limited based on the governor's Restore Illinois plan. So for actual games, we're limited to 20% capacity. For us, that's about 3,000 people in the stadium. There's good news and bad news with that. The good news is we typically average about 3,000 around that number in the stadium anyway. The bad news is we typically average only about 3,000 at the games anyway. But we do have modeling in place for if that mandate stays in place for the spring, or if we put it in place when we were continuing to plan for a home game for SEMO this fall and other home games, where we would be able to seat everybody who's season ticket holders in pods. So social distance your groups from other groups and be able to accommodate seating there. So we do have that modeling in place.
Liz, we're pretty sports deprived in this area, so I think you might underestimate the public's willingness to come out and just kind of watch them tackle each other. Well, so, just as a thought.
In order for us to do that, we have to put a proposal together and get it approved and all of that. But I agree with you, and we so much want to do that. When COVID was new, I guess we're only about 5 or 6 months into it now. My mantra to our staff and as I spoke to people was that my goal was to get to the fall, and so our first home football game needed to be a celebration of bringing the community of Southern Illinois, not just Carbondale, all of Southern Illinois back together again. That was, we have the opportunity to be that and do that as a celebration when the time is right. Unfortunately, can has gotten kicked down the road for us.
What's the tentative time frame in the spring? March, April, or February?
Yeah. So some of the additional work includes, I'm now on a Missouri Valley Conference COVID working group and also on a Missouri Valley Conference Championship working group. We have a meeting this afternoon with just the Missouri Valley Football Conference ADs to really begin talking about what the spring might look like. I can tell you that, the initial conversation has been centered around March and April games leading up to some sort of truncated national championship playoff opportunity that would possibly end in a championship game around the Memorial Day time slot. But that is not definitive. That is just part of the initial what if conversation surrounding that.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jerry speaking. Is there, would be the seating arrangements for both football and basketball? I know all of the season ticket people are all seated together, but if you have 3,000 that typically show up, are they spread out?
Yes, that's the modeling I referred to earlier, that we would likely have to limit seating for football for season ticket holders and students only. That would probably get us to our 3,000. But then we would have to spread pod format to spread groups of people out around the entire stadium. So we would, per the Restore Illinois guidelines, we would not be able to honor season ticket holder seats all clumped together without allowing people in there with to accommodate the social distancing. And that would be similar for basketball. We're very hopeful that, again, we can get to a basketball season where it will become a moot point and that everybody will be vaccinated and we can load up that facility and just, support our basketball teams as rambunctiously as possibly can. But we realize we're going to have an alternative seating opportunity for that as well. Right now, per the Restore Illinois guidelines, our ability to get many people inside is extremely limited. We're also counting on the University of Illinois to sort of lead the charge and seeing if there are ways for us to get a little relief to allow, in the safest, healthiest ways we can, more fans into our indoor facilities. And we know that we have a lot of interest in men's basketball right now. We've seen an uptick in season ticket sales, even through COVID, as people realize that there's such uncertainty. It's exciting for us to see the level of confidence and belief in the program and how many people want to be there. So if there's any way we can get people in there, we will, and we've got some time. We've got some time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Liz.
Yes.
I'm a former member of this Rotary Club, but I live out here near Youngstown, Ohio right now in Penguin territory, which is terrible. And yep. We have this big flagpole in our front yard, and I would love to have the huge Saluki flag to fly right here in Penguin country.
Oh gosh, that would be wonderful.
So if you know where I can get one, let me know, because I'd be proud to fly the Saluki flag.
I think you can go to our website, siusalukis.com, and I think that there's a team store.
Awesome. I'll be there.
You need to find one of those, and I can tell you that that Youngstown has had their challenges getting athletics up and running, and so that's one of the examples of why we do feel fortunate in our department right now with how our plan and protocol has gone for our student athletes.
Yeah, we're really in a hot spot for COVID. My county, which is right next to, Youngstown State is in Mahoning County and I'm in Trumbull. We've had over 90 deaths, and in Youngstown, it's been over 100 people who have died from COVID. So, everybody's especially cautious, and we don't want to be sending any of that virus to you guys in Southern Illinois.
Thank you. Well, I know that we're running low on time, and every time I speak out in the community, I make myself and this institution a promise. We need your help, and we, obviously money helps, but it doesn't have to be money. And I know you've got a lot of really great, worthy causes that you all support. One thing you can all do, though, to help us and help Saluki Athletics, not just our institution, is help us convince young people to come to school at Southern Illinois University. It costs none of us money, and to tell the good story, share the good news, embrace our proud history, and talk about the vision that we have and where we're headed now, and help us make that sales pitch so we get more students back here to the community and to our school.
Thank you for joining us today, Liz. On behalf of the Carbondale Rotary Club, I think you're doing a great job, and we appreciate you coming out today. Your comment about getting people to come to SIU, when I was looking at universities, it was something my family said, no, you're not going to Southern, your brother went there, and we're not doing that. But I think the university's changed a lot in the last 20 years, and it's a beautiful place. I'm happy to be in this community, and I hope my kids, when they get to that age, got a little ways to go there, we'll definitely consider Southern Illinois as a place to be.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, I hope to see you all in person at our Saluki events and not just virtually anymore.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
So what's happening over the next couple weeks? Next week we have Jill from the district joining us to discuss the Rotary Foundation, and then September 9th we have Casey Tomey joining us from Shane. What's the name of that firm? That name's in it.
It's an awful long name.
Yes.
Barrett, Broom, Toomey, Hughes, and Hoke.
There you go. Will be joining us to discuss some estate planning ideas. Hope that everybody can continue to join us. Great job to Linda Flowers and the programming committee. We've got people scheduled out through, I believe, October now. We just had another confirmation for mid-October. So great job there, and look forward to some more exciting meetings and a lot of great information and camaraderie over the next couple months here. Now it's time for the four-way test. Carl Flowers, would you please lead us in the four-way test?
Would you all join me in the Rotary four-way test of what we think, say, and do? First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? 3,
will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And 4,
will it be beneficial for all
concerned? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining the Rotary Club of Carbondale, and we'll see you again next week.
All right. Thank you guys for letting me be on, and I actually found this pin.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, this is, you can't, I don't know if you can see it, but this actually is one of y'all's because it says past president. So I know that came from y'all's club.
Club, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I was able to get a lot of his pin stuff, so.
Great.
It's great to be here. This was cool. Carl, it's good to see you, my man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good seeing you, Gordy.
All right. Y'all have a blessed week.
Take care.
See you, Gordy.
Bye-bye. Bye, Miss Lacey.
Bye.
I got new friends now.
Yes, absolutely.